What's up, nerds? So, watched the latest episode of X-Men 97, and I have to be honest with you, it was good. I thought I wouldn't like it because of the Prime Sentinel situation and Bastion, because like I said in my last review, I don't really, from the comic books, I never really was a huge fan of Bastion, and I don't like the Prime Sentinel thing. It's fine, because, but the show made me like it. So I was all like, as soon as it started happening in this episode, I was like, oh, you know what? I don't mind this. So maybe I'll have to go back and read those comics and see if I just, at the time, I didn't like it, One thing I forgot to do also last episode was to talk about Morph and his different when he morphs into other characters, his cameos. So this one he morphed into Juggernaut, and we'll talk about when that scene happened or whatnot later on. But it was very cool, I like Juggernaut, even though he's not a mutant, but it's fun anyways. So, yeah, I'm going to get to this breakdown and everything, tell you my thoughts, but overall, the episode was good, and it was a good part one to this conclusion to this season. So I'm quite excited about what happens next in the last two episodes. All right, let's break down this episode. Here we go. So the UN reveals to the world that Xavier is alive, which incites an anti-mutant protest outside the school. So the world finds out that Xavier is not dead, and like I said before, because they were always like, he died, and I was like, but he didn't die. That last episode, he went up into space. So the world now knows, and they're all pissed off at the X-Men, because they're like, you did this to garner support and sympathy, and I'm all like, so? And I mean, like, and at the time, it was like he was practically dead, because they were like, we're never going to see the professor again. So I'm like, I don't feel, I mean, I'm not mad at the X-Men about it, and then the world, I mean, like, get over yourself. Cable then explains to the X-Men that the Genosha Massacre is an absolute point in time that cannot be changed. And Bastion will use it to start a 300-year war that will lead to the enslavement of mutants in a human utopia. So in this scene, Cable talks about how he explains Bastion and everything, but he talks about how Bastion took over and was, did the Prime Sentinel situation. Now I want to talk about the cameos in this real quick, and then I'll go on. He talks about like he created utopia, and humans have this nanotechnology in them and everything, and mutants are basically just worker bees. Like he's like, it is the prime era of mutants, but they're like the backbone and everything, because they're basically just workhorses, and we see that in these cameos, which I'm putting up right now. And I don't know the two at the top here. I don't know I don't remember if they said their names, but they were in that one episode where Nimrod is, and I can't remember, I want to say it's Days of Future Past, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But, they're using their powers. And then we get Polaris, which is Magneto's daughter, and she also has magnetism, which, considering the end, I don't know why she just didn't do the same thing that Magneto did. I don't know, but so Polaris is there, just old woman Polaris. And then at the bottom here, we get Rachel Summers, which is the daughter of Cyclops and Jean Grey. And she's got the Phoenix Force and everything. So that was fun, some fun cameos. We got cameos galore. I'll talk about the rest of them as we go on, but those cameos were really fun. Liked seeing those characters. Following a lead from the future, Cyclops, Jean, and Cable travel to Harmony, Pennsylvania, and they learn that Bastion was conceived after his father was infected with a techno-organic virus, which creating a human-machine hybrid that is more evolved than the Sentinels, Master Mold, and Nimrod. Okay, so they get Cable's all like, I know where a factory is and everything, and you're all like, cool and everything, and they go to Harmony, Pennsylvania. That's next to Scranton, where Biden lived for like 2 seconds. And then so they go there, and they realize it's just his old school home. And you see his Bastion's past, and his dad was infected with, the clap, and impregnates his mother, and he's like a hybrid. Like I said before, in the comic books, he is a hybrid of Master Mold and Nimrod and everything. I can't remember exactly if the way that they talk about it in this comic book is the way it went down. Or in this show that was the way it went down in the comic books. But let's just go for that for right now because it was cool. It was a cool origin story. Like like ooh, his dad got infected and everything. So yeah, so that's how he that you find out the story of him. It was very it was kind of Man of Steel how he was in the classroom and all like I'm hearing stuff and everything. So members of the UN's Operation Zero Tolerance expressed concern over the massacre and asked Dr. Cooper to monitor Bastion, who reveals to her how he is turning humans into prime sentinels like Trask. So while they're sitting there talking to the UN or the UN's Operation Zero team right now, and this is where we got some more cameos, right? So we got Doctor Doom, and then we got Baron Zemo, and then I don't know who the woman was that I'm putting on the bottom here, and everything. Sorry, over here. And so I don't know who this woman is because they didn't show her face, and I'm curious to see if they show who that is later on. But these are obviously all humans. Baron Zemo doesn't have any powers, and neither does Doctor Doom. So it's obvious that they're this human force or whatnot. And so they keep what's her face around, Dr. Cooper, who I thought would be Mystique, but she didn't reveal herself, and I would assume that they would be able to know, they would know that she's a mutant if she was. So they'd be like, "Hello, Mystique," kind of thing, but they didn't. So it was like that was like whatevs. So then he reveals that they are turning humans into prime sentinels, and they volunteer whatever because mutants, you get laid off work because one construction crew one guy can do the work of one construction crew. Like Colossus, he could probably do more. He could probably do the work of 10 men and everything. So that's 10 jobs lost or 9 jobs lost and everything. Or 10 jobs lost and one gain. But so yeah, so these people are turning themselves into prime sentinels. Prime sentinels activate all over the world and they attack mutants, mostly the X-Men, capturing Jubilee and Roberto and burn down Xavier's school. So these Prime Sentinels are activating all over the world or whatnot, and they're coming to attack the X-Men, right? And they're putting up a good fight. I liked seeing Jubilee and Roberto. I really don't care about their storyline, to be honest with you, but they're there, so whatever. But I have to say, like, the attack in the mansion was pretty cool. When Kate, is that her name? Well, whatever, that reporter lady, when she turned into a Prime Sentinel, I was like, oh, shit, and everything. So then all these other Sentinels, like when Bastion's mom was turning, she was all, like, going Zorgified and everything, like, all twitchy, like she was possessed and shit. And I was like, that's cool and everything. And then they just start attacking them. And when Cable and Cyclops are on the top of that Porsche, and Cyclops is blasting a hole through the ground, which he's done before in the animated series beforehand, and then Cable's just like pew 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 at the back and everything. So freaking cool. I thought that was really sweet. And I thought Nightcrawler with the swords and how Wolverine's all like, you gotta deal with 6 of them, bub, and everything. And then Nightcrawler's all like, he's like, I'm sorry, but it's more like you'll have to deal with 9. And I'm all like, 9. That's not 9 but anyways. So I really liked it. It was so cool. I loved it. It was super badass. I hope if we get more of this in the next 2 episodes, Daddy will be happy. A horrified Cooper releases Magneto, who uses his abilities to shut down the Prime Sentinels all over the world. Dr. Cooper, she set Magneto free, right? Because she was all feeling, because she's like, I felt, during the Genosha massacre, I felt, scared, but I was also felt, I can't remember the right word that she used, but the courage of people to fight, of mutants to fight, even though they knew they weren't going to win. And I can't remember what word it is for that. Sorry. But so she sets him free and he goes up to the North Pole and he sets out basically a big EMP, right? And that EMP goes over the whole world and it shuts down the Sentinels. Now, we did get some more cameos in this one, which were fun. We got to see Spider-Man which he was in an episode, I believe, maybe in the X-Men anime series. I can't remember exactly. We got to see Silver Samurai. He was definitely in an episode, at least one episode of the animated series. Then we got to see Omega Red, which was cool because that place that he's being held got shut down and he got woken up. He's all like hello, comrade, I'm about to kill you. And so that was really cool. I love all the cameos and everything. I hope in season 2 more of these characters show up and everything, but we'll see. But so, and then Wolverine's all like, Magneto just basically declared war on the humans. And I'm all like, oh, it's craziness. I'm like, mutants beware, because they are crazy. Soon after, Xavier turns up to Earth and summons the X-Men. So Xavier shows up at the last minute, and that's the end of the episode. So he's he crashes into the mansion, which I was like, hey, you guys, you're gonna have to rebuild that shit. It's better if it's not all torn down. But he pops in, then he pops open his little bug mask, and he's all like, to me, my X-Men. And I'm all like, okay, I'm like, why don't you comfort the rest of the mutants in the world? But, whatever, it's fine. And like I said before, this episode was fantastic. It was so good. Loved it. I can't wait to see the last 2 episodes. The animation is good. I thought the animation wasn't the best at the beginning in some scenes, but it's really, I'm enjoying this show a lot. And I don't know what that Bo DeMeo guy did to get fired, but if season 2 is this good, because he did season 2, maybe, depending on what he did, because if he did some naughty things to his the other employees, you can't have him back. You can't have him back. But if it was just like he snapped at people, send him to anger management and then get him back in there, because he's obviously doing a good job. He's obviously a fan of the show, and these people are a fan of the comic books because they're doing things that are good. So that is my breakdown and my review of this episode. I'm excited for next week, and I can't wait to see what happens. So yeah. All right, well, tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? If you didn't like it, don't talk to me. I can't be your friend. I'm sorry. But tell me what you guys thought. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on my next X-Men breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.